Oh my goodness, I already know this is going to be a very difficult video for the Westbrook fans to watch. And if you're a Rockets fan, then I'm apologizing to you in advance. Because quite frankly, Russell Westbrook is helping the Thunder out more now that he's a Rocket than he ever did when he was on the Thunder. Thunder fans must have been watching last night's game clapping their gluteus maximuses off. And to say that Russell Westbrook's choke job is one of the biggest choke jobs I've seen in recent NBA playoff history, that's debatable. We still have LeBron James only putting up 8 points in a finals game in 2011. So I'm not gonna say that this is the biggest choke job in recent playoff history. However, it definitely fits the category of top 5. So with that being said, you guys already know there is a lot for us to talk about today. A huge thank you to everyone who's already given this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It's not for me, it's for the YouTube algorithm. So thank you to everybody. Before we talk about Westbrook's choke job, we need to talk about Chris Paul and the Oklahoma City Thunder, because I'm a positive guy, so I want to start this off on a positive note before we go ahead and talk about Westbrook. Let me read off some of Oklahoma's stats from last night. Chris Paul, 28 and 7. Gallinari, 25 points. Gilgeous-Alexander, 10 points, 6 assists. Lou Dort. Keep in mind, mainstream media didn't even know who Lou Dort was until just a few weeks ago. And at the age of 21, he's already doing a very good job guarding James Harden. So good defense from Lou Dort, and he put up 13 points in 20 minutes. Schroeder had 12 and 8, and Steven Adams grabbed 14 rebounds. So besides Chris Paul and Gallinari, nobody was really scoring off the walls over here. However, these stats show us that everybody chipped in and everybody helped pull off the win last night. Fourth quarter, Chris Paul. Keep in mind, Chris Paul is the smallest guy on the court. He's in his 30s already, and he's in his 15th year in the NBA. So I don't know where he found all this gas left in him in the fourth quarter, but in the fourth quarter, Chris Paul shot 5 for 7 from the field. Yes, I know it's not 7 for 7, okay, whatever. But 5 for 7 from a 30-something-year-old small point guard, that's an A+, no matter what way you want to put it. On the other hand, even though Chris Paul shot 5 for 7 from the field in the fourth quarter, Houston Rockets fans, sorry that I have to bring this up and sorry that I'm about to crush your little hearts, but in the fourth quarter, Westbrook and Harden combined for 3 of 11 from the field. Let that sink in. 3 of 11 from two guys getting paid I don't even know how many millions of dollars. I would be so mad if I'm a Houston Rockets fan, you guys. I would be very, very mad. But that is not a problem my team has to deal with, and I'm gonna drink from my Clippers Tears cup, and if I had a Rockets Tears cup, I would be drinking from it as well. Delicious Clipper Tears. But if you thought the 3 for 11 from the field was what I was calling the choke job, I could barely care less about 3 for 11 from the field. Yes, that is terrible, but Russell Westbrook did something so much worse later in the game that it honestly makes me forget about the 3 for 11 from the field. Alrighty, so the time has finally come. Let's talk about Harden and Westbrook and how Westbrook completely ruined this game. Harden had 32, 8, and 7 on 50% shooting from the field. Yes, he did have 5 turnovers, but the fact that he carried the Rockets yesterday, that's enough for me to kind of forgive the turnovers just this one time. However, the same forgiveness cannot be spread to Westbrook. Westbrook had 17 points in 27 minutes, and if he were a role player, then okay, that is a very good stat line. However, besides having 17 points, Russell Westbrook had 7 turnovers. That is absolutely unacceptable. And yes, I understand that Westbrook is coming back from injury, but the clips I'm about to show you guys are absolutely inexcusable. It doesn't matter if you're coming back from injury or if you're coming back from a vacation. I don't care. What Westbrook did is so bad that I almost forgot about the 7 turnovers. Let's take a look at these 2 clips from the fourth quarter. For the first clip, the game was tied at 100 with 40-something seconds left in the game. Russell Westbrook gets the ball and he goes for a pull-up jumper. Just look for yourselves.
Westbrook daring him to shoot the shot.
Westbrook will shoot it. Air ball for Westbrook.
How do you airball a mid-range jumper? You were pretty much as open as you could possibly get. The game is on the line, dude. If you guys win, you get a few days off and you advance to the next round of the playoffs. That shot could have very well sent the Rockets to the next round in the playoffs. But instead, Russell Westbrook somehow airballs that jumper. But then it gets even worse, believe it or not. At this point in the video, the Rockets fans are probably kicking a rock block or punch in the air, some sort of, I don't know. So then with 7 seconds left in the game, Oklahoma is up 2. The score is 102 to 100. Westbrook begins to drive and then he wants to pass the ball out. You guys watch this video for yourselves. Who is he passing the ball to? Casper the Ghost?
And a turnover as Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, how do you make 2 terrible plays like that in such a short span of time from one another? How does that happen, my guy? You can't really make the excuse that he's coming back from an injury with those plays. Even an injured player could have made that jumper, or at least not airballed it, and there's no excuse whatsoever for making such a bad pass. That's a very easy pass. All you had to do was chuck it out to the guy. I don't know. I'm sorry. I normally try to give players the benefit of the doubt, but there really is no benefit to give Russell Westbrook here. I'm sorry, dude. That was just straight up awful. So of course, Russell Westbrook and James Harden combined for 12 turnovers. Meanwhile, Chris Paul had 0 turnovers the entire game. And now the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets are playing a Game 7. Right now, the Thunder have all of the momentum. There's no pressure on them to perform whatsoever. Obviously, they want to win, but if they lose, it's not going to tarnish anybody's career. Before the season even started, the Thunder had a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs. So besides the Thunder fans, who would have thought that they would be in a Game 7 right now? The Thunder was literally supposed to be rebuilding this year. They weren't supposed to be in the playoffs, and if they somehow made it to the playoffs, they were supposed to get swept. Yet right now, they had the opportunity to advance to the second round in the playoffs. I'm happy for Chris Paul. Check out this video of him after the game and listen to the words he had to say.
We just wanted a chance. Ayana finally got out of quarantine. Yeah, Sam, we just want a chance. Yeah, Bello. We just gave ourselves a chance. Game 7, anything can happen.
So I'm happy for Chris Paul and I'm happy for the Thunder. But as for Russell Westbrook, check out what Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, and Colin Cowherd had to say. Skip Bayless, Lord have mercy. Westbrook did it again. Another crazy turnover. Rockets had him, Westbrook gave it back. Now Stephen A. Smith, the Houston Rockets just lost this game. A big reason is at Russell Westbrook, who looked off all night and was a turnover machine. He'll be back though. He only added that part so he doesn't seem like a hater or something. But I guarantee Stephen A. Smith didn't really mean to type that. But the biggest reason is Coach D'Antoni. How in the hell do you have the last 3 possessions without James Harden with the ball? I mean, what the heck? Very true. What he said about D'Antoni, I completely agree with. And this isn't a video on D'Antoni, but I've never been a fan of his coaching. I think it works pretty well in the regular season because he has James Harden. For those who may not know, D'Antoni is a high volume offense coach, but clearly his offense doesn't really work too well in the playoffs. And then Colin Cowherd. For those who don't know, he always hates on Russell Westbrook, and sometimes he just hates on him blatantly for no reason. Cowherd said, I won the Westbrook argument a couple years ago. No reason to pile on tonight. He has 1 gear. Not exactly a revelation at this point. So yeah, it's pretty safe to say that the media is scrutinizing Russell Westbrook right now. When Game 7 comes tomorrow or the next day, probably tomorrow, I'm pretty sure the Rockets are going to seal the deal. However, I would want nothing more than the Thunder to upset the Rockets. That would be huge and it would be the most funny thing all week. Anyway, please give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Comment your thoughts down below, once again, for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. I post a new NBA video every morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. For those who live in the East Coast, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And I believe that's noon Central Time. But I don't know, I'm not a timeologist, I don't know. So 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every morning, talking about the hottest NBA game from the night before. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below on everything I said, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace. If you're still here, consider watching this other video I picked out for you down below. Please just watch it. I'm trying to get to 300 subs, so go watch that video. Let me know what y'all think. And hit the like button on that video too. All right, see you guys.